So the first thing you want to do is put it up against your body. Some people hold it way down here on their lap, especially when they're sitting down. Some might hold it there. Some will hold it all the way up here. It's really a range of what feels right for you, and you're going to experiment with it over time. But get it to the place you want it, and then you're going to kind of lock it into place by taking your arm, and you place your forearm across the bottom of the ukulele. And what I'm doing is kind of pressing the back of the ukulele into my chest and stomach area. And so this puts my strumming thumb or my strumming finger here on the bottom of the neck. And that's where you want it, not down here over the sound hole, but more up on the bottom of the neck area. That's where you're going to get the best sound. This arm, the whole arm moves up and down. You're not going to want to strum like this with your wrist. Instead, it's kind of the whole arm coming up and down. All right, so that's that hand. With this hand, you could hold it so you've got your thumb on the back of the instrument and you're holding this here. Or you can if you find this part of your hand, let that neck just up above that top bar, let it rest right there in your hand. This is really nice and stable feeling, and it gives me a really good support for doing fretting in those top 3 or 4 fret bars. So we're going to start by learning how to strum with our thumbs. So put your thumb up like this and a big thumbs up, and then you're going to bring it over here to your ukulele and just bring that down. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, or. Okay. You're playing on kind of the thumb, on the side of your thumb here, not on the pad, not on the nail, but kind of right here in the middle. This is best for just downstrokes. You can strum up with your thumb, but that might feel a little bit harder to learn at first. So when we're starting with just the thumb, we're just going to pull it down. That's strumming with your thumb. We can also look at strumming with your index finger. So what I want you to do is put your hand out like this and kind of go, eh. You feel that eh movement back and forth? That's kind of the movement we're going to use to strum with. Now we need to move our fingers out so we can strum. So put that first finger down, make the shape, and just kind of curl these others out of your way. Okay, so now I've got this index finger here ready to go, and do that eh, right? Eh. So I could just strum down, or I can do up and down. When I'm going down, I'm using my fingernail on the way down. On the way back up, I'm strumming with that kind of side of my finger here. So probably when you begin strumming, we're going to do just thumb down. And maybe we only play once per measure. But as we get more confident and more familiar with the song, let's try switching to that index finger. And when you're ready to add in more division to the notes and play maybe all those half notes or all those quarter notes, that's when you start adding the ups and downs. And that's the basics of strumming. The first chord is just to put your ring finger, that third finger here, on the 3rd fret of the bottom string. That's our A string, but when we put our finger on that 3rd fret, it turns it into a C note. And we want it pressed all the way down, so when I pluck that string, that C note rings out. If you're not pressing hard enough, you're going to hear this. Right? Press it down to have good pressure, good tone. So that's the C note. That's not the C chord yet, because the C chord is played on all 4 strings. So to play the C chord, let's first make sure all of our notes are ringing out. So we've got our G, we've got the C note, or C string, the E string, and the C note on the A string. So they all sound good individually. Let's go ahead and play that whole chord together. That is a C chord. What you're going to do first is take your index finger, that's your first finger, and put it in the first fret of the E string. So that's 1, 2, 3. The third string down from the top is the E string. And I'm going to put my finger there on the F note. Okay, so here's the E without that pressed. When I press that down, I've got the F note. To turn that into the F chord, we're also going to take our second finger, that middle finger, and put it up on the second fret of the top string. Okay, first finger, first fret of the E string, second finger, second fret of that top string, the G. Now let's go ahead and play each of those strings out separately to make sure they're ringing. G, C. Ooh, that didn't sound good, did it? Let's go ahead and press that down a little bit differently. Better. Those are all ringing out. Sometimes if I'm not being careful, this one's going to be accidentally pressing on this string below it. This one's going to accidentally press on the string below it, and you're going to hear thunk, ring, thunk. Okay, so we need to tip our hands up so that we're only touching those those strings we mean to be touching, and not accidentally touching the others. So let's ring them out again. Okay, let's play our F chord. Okay, with our thumb or with our index finger. If you're feeling strumming up and down, we're going to do this. That's our F chord. So let's play our F first. So first, let's make sure it's ringing. Okay. Now we'll start with our F and then do 4 strums there and then switch over to the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now take your third finger, put it on that third fret of the bottom string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to F. So the first finger goes on that second fret of the E string. Second finger goes on the top fret. I'm sorry, second fret of that top string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch to F. And what we want to do is make that transition as smooth as possible with no pauses in between. And so you'll notice I kind of keep my fingers hovering pretty close here. I don't want to, if I'm moving them far away every time, I'm going to lose a lot of time. So let's try F, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4. And that's how you're going to switch it back and forth between the F and the C. I'm going to start with the tune of Farmer in the Dell, because once you learn that, there's so many different other songs you can play to that same tune. So you'll see that I do have a chord sheet that's got all these things listed out. Everywhere that you see an F, you're going to play an F chord. Whenever you see just a yellow line without any chord on it, you're just going to play that same chord again. So I'd go F and F, and then I go to that next yellow spot and it says C. So that's where I'll switch to the C chord, then the F, then the C, and then the F. So we're going to do just 1 strum down with our thumb on each measure. So we start off with the F, and we're going to play that twice. We'll do the farmer in the dell. Do it again. The farmer in the dell. Switch to C. Hi-ho. Back to F. The dairy-o. C. The farmer in the F. Dell. Okay, let's try playing that something like tempo. Okay, so starting with our F. The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell. See? Hi-ho, F, the dairy-o, the C, farmer in the F, dell. Try again, and you're going to be able to play this video again and again to play along with it till you've got the hang of it, okay? The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell. And there you've just learned your first song.